Hello and welcome back to another video on Python for ethical hackers. In this video we'll discuss some basic Linux command or some basic terminal commands. So let's get started with this file explorer first. So this is file explorer of Kali Linux. We have seen this in our previous video where we discussed the basics of Kali Linux. So if I'm willing to go to a folder, I will just straight away double click on it and I will be inside that folder from the root. So right now I just double click on downloads and I went from root to downloads folder. If I'm willing to go back to the downloads, I will just press this back button, so I will go back. So how can I do this? From the terminal? Let's open up terminal and do that. If I'm willing to list my current directory on a terminal, I will write pwd, which will straight away list the current directory we are in, which is root. Now if I'm willing to see what's inside this root directory, I will write ls, which is used for listing all of the files and directories inside the current directory we are in. So right now you can see that in the root we have downloads, we have desktop, we have all of these directories that we can see in the file explorer as well as on our terminal. So if you're willing to navigate from one directory to another, in our case from root to downloads, we'll write cd, which is used for change directory, and I will write the directory I want to go from the root, so that would be downloads. So cd downloads would take me from root to downloads folder. Simple as that, the way we did in our file explorer by double clicking on downloads. Now in the file explorer, when we were willing to go back, we just clicked the back button and we were again in the root directory. But right now here in the terminal, we would write cd double dot and it would take us from downloads back to our root directory. Now let's again go to downloads by writing cd downloads. And now if I'm willing to create a file or a folder, how can I do that from the terminal? So if I'm willing to create an empty directory, I will write mkdir and then the name of the directory that I want to give. In my case, that would be test. So let's go to the download and see if the test was created. Yes, indeed. And if I ls from here, you can see that we do have this test directory. If I'm willing to remove it, I will write rmdir and then the name of the directory that I want to remove. So in our case, that's test. So if I do that, you can see that the directory straight away got deleted, and if I ls that, you can see that the downloads directory is empty. So this was okay for an empty directory, but if I create again mkdir test and then cd test and then again create another directory mkdir test inside and then cd dot dot dot. Now if I ls, you can see that we have test directory inside downloads. If I'm willing to remove it, we did it with the rmdir test, but it will show me an error because the directory, the test directory is not empty, and rmdir is just used for removing empty directories. If I'm willing to remove a directory with some stuff in it, so I'll write rm minus rf test and it will delete the directory having contents or having files or folders inside it. So now if I'm like the screen is completely with text and stuff, so if I'm willing to clear out the screen, I will just write clear and it will clear out the screen for me. So now what, like you would say, what is this rm minus rf? So this is an option that we can provide to the option. Now you would say, how would I know I can provide options to certain command? Like there would be some options that we can provide to this ls as well, which is ls -- all or something like that. So you would know this by writing a command and then writing -- help in front of that. And this will show you all of the available options or the commands you can, all of the available options and flags you can provide to a certain command. So you can do that for anything. You can do that with any command. We did it with the ls. So it will show you that ls is used for listing directories and files inside there. You can see that usage, ls option, and then the file name if you're willing to provide it, list information about the files, the correct directory by default, sort entries alphabetically and stuff like that. So it will give you all of the information about the ls command, and you can do that with any command. You can do that with clear, you can do that with anything you want to get help with. So that is pretty much it for the basic commands. We studied pwd, we studied cd, we studied mkdir, we also removed the directory. And if we are willing to do some more stuff, like there are tons and tons of commands that we can study right now, but the problem is we do have very little time, and it's not useful that I show you all of the commands right here, because you will forget about those commands anyway. So we'll study all of the commands whenever they come in front of us later in the course. We'll first take the command, discuss it, and then do the practical stuff. So I think this is pretty much it to get you started with the basic commands and with the terminal. Get used to the terminal, go out, search on internet for different commands and use them on terminal. You can do literally anything you can do in the graphical interface. Like in fact, in Linux, you would do most of the things on the command line. Like there are only few applications that would give you GUI interface. Like most of the application would work and run from the terminal. So that is pretty much it for this video. I hope you did learn something. In fact, it was pretty basics. So in the next few videos, we'll create Mac changer program, and indeed that would be an interesting one. So this is pretty much it for this video. Have a pleasant day. Until next time, enjoy hacking. Peace.